Oh, there we go. There's some sound from my microphone. A little closer. All right. So, a couple of housekeeping things. I apologize to everyone for Tuesday. Had a technical glitch and had no game sound on launch day. So, that's great. But, day one's bound to be problematic, as I told a friend of mine who then laughed at me and said, ha, you have seen nothing yet. So, speaking of said friend, once again, a shout out to Undead Eyes. She is a Twitch streamer who has helped me immensely in getting my stream started. And should really check her out. I've got a link to her on my profile. And hopefully this will be better than Tuesday. Which, by the way, there were like 3 people here who stuck around during a game with no sound for hours. And I just want to say I really appreciate that. And if you like that, you really might like it when there's sound. So we shall see. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started on Mafia Definitive Edition. If you were here yesterday, you know we left off right after a cutscene at the beginning of a chapter because I wasn't sure when you restarted from that checkpoint if it was going to show the cutscene or not. So we may get the cutscene again, we may not. I'm not really sure. Here we go. Load times on this are kind of long, but it's probably just because I'm on a regular Xbox One. I never did upgrade to the Xbox One X. And then when I tried to upgrade, when there were no Series X's available, I was told, oh yeah, that's been discontinued. We don't have that either. So I'm stuck with an Xbox One until whenever they're able to provide the next gen systems more reliably.
Gento's waiting for you with a clean car. Last I saw Frank, there was no sign of this. We had a drink, talk business. Not this. Earl was wrapped up in all this. I just know it.
Give me 1 second. My sound has decided not to go through my headphones.
Earl was wrapped up in all this. I just know it.
It's always something, isn't it?
Last I saw Frank, there was no sign of this. We had a drink, talk business. Not this. The feds get those books, our whole operation's at risk.
There we go. Now I can hear the game through the headphones, and you don't have to hear it twice through them. Okay, so I think we're gonna go try to find Frank because apparently he's the mole. Just quite surprising. I did not expect that. Right. We'll be courteous and take the sidewalk, stay off the grass. Why wouldn't I want it? I'm assuming a Lupara is this gun he just gave me? Like a sawed off? It's small enough to fit inside my code. So 7 of 20 dime detective magazines collected. I really appreciate that they mark those on the mini map. Because otherwise, I guess I should take a car. Probably the white car on the map. What do you think? Ooh, nice. I love the cars in this game. Always been a big fan of the vintage car. You are nowhere near getting hit. Get out of the road. Ouch. Am I not getting sound again? Hang on. What's going on? Okay, I guess I'm getting. It's just a very consistent sound level. It concerns me that the sound isn't showing that it's dropping as I play. Bear with me 1 second here. Everything seems to be right. We'll see. People are not terribly fond of my driving. I'm not terribly fond of my driving, quite frankly. Really sure what the rumpus is, actually. One moment, everybody. Still concerned about this sound issue. Sorry for the delay, everybody, but I went 8 hours on Tuesday with no sound from the game and not realizing it, and I'm not going to let that happen again. So just bear with me for a second. Still don't have sound. I'm not sure what's going on to do that. Just joined. I am working on getting game audio to work. It was working yesterday when I was testing it after it didn't work at all on day one. I'm not getting game audio. All right, let me try something else. Bear with me, please. Okay, that seems like it may have worked.
Always a pleasure, Tommy.
Okay, I think we have game audio on. I can use a workaround, but hey, if I've got game audio again, or for the first time even, that's perfectly fine with me. I can always do it this way. If you're in the chat and you do have any issues with the audio, the picture or anything, let me know if it's too bright, too dark, too loud. Although everything's turned up to full, so not loud enough could be an issue. But we'll see.
Welcome to a WLH Sports Report. There's a sense of anticipation as we await the start of the big game. Our very own Lost Heaven Lancers are out on the road, deep in enemy territory as they take on bitter rivals, the Empire Bay Cannons. This year's Gold Series is shaping up to be one of the best on record, with both teams matching one another blow for blow. Despite the Cannons' home field advantage and an early lead in the series, the Lancers have bounced back and have really taken their rivals to task. Many of the plaudits and column inches have been dedicated to one man. Lancers pitcher Bunny Smith is one of this year's standout performers. And with this series tied at 3-3, he may well be the key man that brings the Wistman Trophy back to Lost Heaven. But doing so will be no easy task, as standing in his way is opposition captain Foghorn Jack Seidel.
I mentioned yesterday that how the radio fades out. It's great.
Game 6, and we now have a powder keg finale that is sure to have everyone glued to their radios. Can Bunny Smith bring it home for Lost Heaven? Or will the Cannon's towering redhead have the final say? WLH 570 Lost Heaven Radio will carry live coverage of the final game of the Gold Series, and we hope you'll join us in wishing our boys well. And now, back to some of the latest musical numbers.
I missed my turn. Also love the music.
No one knows who she is here.
Hi, little Tony.
Everything okay, Tom?
Go get 'em, boys. Game 7 of the 1933 Gold Series takes place today. The Lost Heaven Lancers play the Empire Bay Cannons at the Armory, with one team certain to take home the trophy. After a heroic campaign filled with exhilarating twists, Captain Bunny Smith will lead his men onto the diamond to play for the Lancers' first series victory in over 2 decades.
Nah. Nah, it's not.
What's this about the guy you drove home who's with the feds?
He came in for a drink, which turned into 10. He's hired muscle for some kind of safe house.
Where?
Oak Hill, corner of Pine. He gave me $10 to drive him back and keep my mouth shut. Let on that Councilor Gilatti's brokered some kind of deal between Morello and the FBI. They were all ready to sit tight on someone in there.
Why the hell didn't you tell us?
Tom, I did. I came in to see Frank straight away. He didn't tell the Don?
No. No, he didn't.
Tom, what's going on?
Get into a con. Apparently, it doesn't matter which one. It doesn't have to be the one I brought. Oh, it's a new magazine. Terror Tales.
We return now to the coverage of Game 7 of the Gold Series. And by the looks of it, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be underway any minute now. The crowd here in the Armory are restless. You can almost taste the tension as we approach this, the deciding game between these two famous rivals. More than a little bad blood between them, and more than a couple of nasty flare-ups in recent years. Of course, this occasion, more than any other, could prove feisty, what with the drama that closed out the previous game. That, of course, saw the Lancers win to tie the series, and it's not often Empire Bay and Lost Heaven can boast the game's best covering hitter and pitcher, respectively. I refer, of course, to Foghorn Seidel, a man mountain with a shock of red hair, and Lancers star Bunny Smith. Speaking of Smith, he is jogging, I suppose you'd say, between his teammates, issuing last-minute orders. They seem responsive to whatever he's saying. He commands respect from his team, that is for sure. By goodness, there must be some nerves among some of the younger Lancers, Helms, Graves, and Nicholson. Smith seemed to have pepped them up. That's good to see. That's what a good captain does. The Cannons lineup is meandering over to the home team dugout. The Lancers are slowly taking up their position, so we can't be too far away from the opening pitch here at the Armory, the home of the Empire Bay Cannons. Stay with us for more.
Let's say the lost side of it in Australia. Thank goodness.
Looks like the place.
Oh wow. I back up so much better on autopilot. Yeah, that's not me driving. Which, if you saw yesterday or Tuesday, I'm surfing right away.
Take me to those account books, Frank.
And we return now to coverage what could be the final play of this game and the series between the Lost Heaven Lancers and the Empire Bay Cannons. A quick reminder that this final inning is being brought to you by Swift Cola. When you need a lift, reach for a Swift. It's not only a taste sensation, it's guaranteed to increase focus, drive, and mental clarity. Pick up a bottle of Swift Cola today. And as we are coming to a close, let me thank today's other sponsors, Big Break Cigarettes
Where are they
and
moving
Lost
you
Heaven
to?
Courier. Both of these teams could be said to be entering golden eras. Each team has a star player at the core with promising youngsters set around them. I refer, of course, to Smith and Seidel. The Cannons have had several such golden periods. The Lancers, it's fair to say, have not. I can see Lancers manager Frankie Hodge prowling in front of the dugout, gesticulating. He seems animated, to say the least. Looks like he's putting one of the officials in his place or something or other. With the noise of the crowd, it is quite hard to say for sure. Whatever's going on down there, you can feel the sense of occasion, and you just know that whatever happens, the crowd will be the first to tell you what has happened. The Lancers are now
really
within
curious
minutes
if
of
they're gonna
snatching the
play the
gold
baseball
series, which
game
at
already.
one stage had appeared doomed. But they equally teeter on the edge of defeat. It all comes down to the final play. Nobody is warming
Gotta
up in
be
the
some
bullpen.
kind of meat happening.
Nobody down there is considering the possibility of extra innings. Bunny Smith then, standing on the mound, a look of steely determination on his face. He's betraying no emotion, doesn't look nervous or tired after his exertions this series, nor does he appear to be carrying the weight of expectation. He's having a word with the umpire about something or other. What a strapping fellow, 6'2", 195 pounds. If the Lancers are to win here today, he's going to write himself into the record books. And boy, oh boy, what that would mean to the people of Lost Heaven after such a long time without glory on the diamond. All right, they've sorted out whatever was going on. Here we go then. In for the Cannons, it's Paddy Doherty. Smith is pitching the game of his life, but Doherty's a big man. If he can catch one, it could run, and with bases loaded, the Cannons could have it. Here we
Close I
go.
can get
Doherty's
to,
facing down
because I
Smith.
haven't seen the
Fastball and
far into
strike.
the
shit.
anything.
They're taking you to the airport,
Some
Frank.
speed on that ball, my goodness. It's fair to say Doherty looks a little spooked. He was convinced he had it. His body language tells the tale. Smith remains cool under pressure, not a flicker of emotion on his face. He winds up. And that's two. There was zip on that one. Good Lord. Seidel is barking something at Doherty, but we have no chance of hearing it as the noise of the crowd reaches fever pitch. Doherty's gesturing, and that's only making Seidel more irate. This is it, folks. Another strike, and the Lancers win. If Doherty can get behind it, surely the Cannons will get all their men home and snatch
I need
victory.
to turn my limiter
A
off.
swing and a miss, and that's the winners! Lancers win! Lancers win! And Smith finally cracks an elated smile. He's thrown his cap in the air, as have his teammates. Lancers win the 1933 Gold Series!
Go Lancers, I guess. That's our team, right? Lost Heaven.
With 3 flights daily, Air Bordeaux is your link to the Bourbon City. Travel in style to the jewel of the South and enjoy premium service throughout your journey. Thanks to your stewardesses, you'll arrive more refreshed than when you left. Air Bordeaux. Contact your travel agent for details.
I don't know if that's innuendo or not.
Christ,
I see your
they're flying him out of
services
state or
This is Lost
something.
Heaven Radio.
Fuck,
broadcasting
this
on
ain't good.
570 AM.
Park your car in a hidden location. Ah, like right there where the indicator is? Okay. See if I can not hit something on the way in. What are you up to, Frank? Why are there police officers with shotguns standing?